Is very important in reference to the Royal Protocol in the media, and the documentation of my identity is the Royal Protocol and who I am and who my parents are and what I'm the owner of. And it documents what mansions I'm the owner of, too. I'm the owner of everything forever in reference to my mother and father and grandparents' estates and, plus in reference to my companies. And, if I create new companies, of course, it's protected by the Royal Protocol and my ownership. I'm the owner forever. This is very important in reference to the Royal Protocol. The Treasury communicated something, and people need to know what that Royal Protocol means. It means lots of things. See, in reference to back in the 60s, the government tried to do this to me, my mother, and father. The government tried to block they tried to block my father and mother from monies. Or the government tried to hijack my parents' wealth before. And, they had to make laws in reference to political hijacking of people's lives, people's property, people's wealth. And the Deeds Department knows a lot about these laws, too. But in reference to the Royal Protocol, like, for instance, if I went to a store or a business and the Treasury obviously hasn't been able to send me money like they were supposed to, as my mother and father both had money at the Treasury for me just in case of these types of situations. But see, the Royal Protocol even tells people I'm tax-free for a lot of reasons, because the government's tried to murder me since I was a little boy, and the government tried to steal my wealth, and they know there's a hate club list of all these people. And the hate club list has to be put in court, and they have to go after the satellite controllers, the ones that have damaged my teeth, to see who they are, of course, because everybody wants to know who they are, who these people are that do these kinds of things, with their satellite games and spying on people's faces and teeth. It's very important situation, the problems, and these types of people are, the perks of the Royal Protocol, someone might say. But in reference to who I am, what's the Royal Protocol? Some people might say, I'm supposed to be able to go into a store, the manager is supposed to tell me I'm allowed to get things, and they write it off. But obviously that has not happened anywhere. And I'm trying to get out of Indiana. I don't want to be here. They have damaged my teeth here. These psychopaths burning on my face. They burn my face even when I drive my car. They burn my face even when I'm going to the grocery store. They've been burning my mouth and my teeth everywhere I fucking went. And then these people try to make up lies saying, oh, they thought you were doing something. And then the motherfucker would say something like, or the satellite man might try to say something like, oh, he don't like the fact that you have Royal Oil drilling bit pieces of that your parents had put in your tooth or something. It's mine, not yours. My teeth are my teeth. It doesn't come from your family. I'm the owner of the Royal Oil drilling bits forever. They're not German. They're not government. And they're not ownership of other races type of product either. I'm the owner. I'm the only child of my mother and father. I'm the owner of the Royal Oil drilling bits. And that's the facts. And in reference to my teeth, government man, the Royal Oil drilling bit company is supposed to be prosecuting your satellite controllers. And the oil industry is supposed to be prosecuting you. Every business in this country pretty much is supposed to be prosecuting your satellite controllers for your crimes and mutilations and abuses and your activity of hijacking people's lives with your satellites. That is treason. See, satellite technology is about people trying to control a person's life. A person that's richer, a person that's more attractive, a person that has beautiful teeth, or beautiful eyes, or beautiful, sexy physique or anatomy, is what these people are trying to do. And it is sexual assault every single time that these government people are doing this shit. But in reference to the information, the government man will say, oh, he thought this, he thought that. No. You're not the owner of nothing that I'm the owner of, government man. You don't own my time. You fabricated investigations by kidnapping me from California, and you're the kidnappers when your people should have been prosecuted for kidnapping me and crossing state lines. And my mother probably had some of your people in court back in the 80s when you had kidnapped me from California before. And I was kidnapped from New York before. I was kidnapped from North Carolina before. And yet your government agents should have been prosecuted a long fucking time ago. And hello, Orbit Bubblegum. You know, a little Orbit Bubblegum company. I bought this at Kroger's. Yeah. Bubblegum. Anyways, rather than a royal protocol, call the Treasury. Call the Treasury and ask the Treasury what my benefits I'm supposed to be able to get when I go to a store. Because, see, the government's not allowed for people to block me from my money and make me look poor. They're not allowed to do that. My mother and father was two of the richest people in the world. And the Treasury knows they're not allowed to let people do that. But it's been going on. And the Treasury has obviously failed in delivering monies to me. And in reference to the abuses and the mutilation and the teeth damage of what these people have done, it is criminal intent. It's attempted murder. And these people need to get charged for being assassins in America. This is a first world country. It's treason what they are doing. It's terrorism what they're doing. And that's the facts. Royal protocols in the media. It's supposed to protect everything. See, these people try to steal my wealth. They're trying to block me from my mother and father's mansions that my parents gave to me. Because these people are jealous. Tell them to put their financial portfolio in a courtroom. Let's see what they're worth. Let's see who they think they are. I'm not trying to be a tough guy. I'm trying to get home to my mother and father's mansions. I'm the owner of my mother and father's estates. All these other people are con artists. All these other people are liars. All these other people are thieves. And they falsely advertised. So in reference to the royal protocol in the media, in reference to benefits that I was supposed to have received, maybe somebody can call the Treasury and ask them, like a store or a business. Like for instance, I was never supposed to have to pay for a drop of gas. Because I own gas stations. You guys know that, right? I was never supposed to have to pay for a hotel room because I own hotels. I wasn't supposed to have to pay for food at restaurants that I'm the owner of. I wasn't supposed to have to pay for clothing at stores that I'm the owner of. Because I own the supply. I own the surplus. Plus, I wasn't supposed to have to, it even tells you on the Treasury documents, don't block my path. In reference to, people standing in the way of me going home to my mother and father's mansions. Or people standing in the way of blocking me from, talking about my parents. Or smiling about my parents. Like, I used to smile to my parents all the time. And my parents always said I had beautiful teeth. Because my parents had beautiful teeth. It's genetic. So in reference to the satellite man damaging my teeth, whatever their problem is with their teeth, they need to get prosecuted for damaging my teeth. But, in reference to people and businesses, that's why I'm tax-free, completely tax-free for a lot of reasons, because the government murdered my parents, plus I was born as a royal, plus, the government tried to murder me when I was a little boy, when my parents gave me everything, It's kind of a long history of, situations of things. Hello, John Paul Getty Museum, how you doing? And hello, Hearst Castle, and hello, Biltmore, and hello, Pocanticos, I guess you'd say. Hello, how you guys doing? And, lots of things of importance. The Royal Protocol, I'm really supposed to be able to travel the country without spending a penny in this type of situation. Plus, the government owes me lawsuit monies in the trillions plus because they murdered my father. The government did not protect my father. I mean, the Supreme Court didn't protect my father, and the Supreme Court didn't protect my mother, and the Supreme Court really hasn't protected my teeth or protected me very well from these government stalkers and their satellite torture, which of course is more lawsuits in reference to the communism of bad government. But, in reference to the information, that's why, since, people had not known what kind of benefits I was supposed to have if I went somewhere, or, like, I was only supposed to have to, just show up and be like, say who my parents are or something. I wasn't really supposed to have to do that either, because people are supposed to know who I am, but these people playing these games, somebody might call the Treasury and say, hey, if he comes to our business, can we do this? Can we give him that? Is what they'd say to the Treasury. And the Treasury will answer your questions. And hopefully, and that's why attorneys need to call them to see things too, to see if somebody's, the one blocking me from living my life. And who are these people to try to intrude? These bad government people? I don't owe them nothing. They held me hostage. They're still holding me hostage. My teeth have not even healed yet. And that satellite man's always riding on my face with that fucking satellite. They're always punching me in the face with satellite transmissions. And it does hurt every single time. And those people need to get prosecuted. And in reference to the real estate market, I can't sell any property of my mother or father or grandparents. I'm not going to. Wouldn't do it anyways. Not allowed to. And in reference to realtors in other cities and states, I need to move. They haven't given me the keys to my mother and father's mansions yet. I'm the owner. I got kidnapped. The keys might just be inside the houses too, because my parents had the keys to the mansions, and I got kidnapped from the mansion, and when I got kidnapped, I didn't have the keys on me, Some of the mansions I haven't been in over 40 plus years. But, in reference to the information, this is very serious. They've had court cases here in Indianapolis about the extortion of these people holding me hostage and abusing me. I don't like Indianapolis, Indiana. Now, there's some nice people, but, I got teeth damage, and, I need to go back to Beverly Hills and Bel Air and, to my mother and father's mansions. Oh, and in reference to my Ford Tempo in California, you might have to get a crane to lift the car up over the fence of my father's mansion property. But, the Ford Tempo needs to be at my father's mansion. Because I don't know if anybody has the gate key or whatever to the gate. Or whichever. But my RX-7 is at my mother's mansion in Beverly Hills. It's been there for 20 some odd years. And hello, Duke Energy. I don't know if my mother had parked a Ferrari at Duke Energy for me. I mean, I haven't received any letters in the mail or anything. But I didn't sell nothing, didn't give nothing away, didn't sign nothing away to nobody, not ever. Not never. So, Duke Energy, if you could send me a letter in the postal mail, whether you have my mother have the Ferrari, if the Ferrari's over there at Duke Energy, because I need the keys then. So if you could send me a letter, if the Ferrari is sitting there at Duke Energy, I need the property, I need the, keys to it. So send me a letter, you know where I'm at. I know you guys have driven by here. I know you've seen me here at the little house, And some of you came up there to Denny's too, right? Many things of importance.